Hello everyone. So today in our video, I will explain how administrators will load files into Ariba. Um, so there are a lot of different processes involved. I will not go into the depth of it, but in general, it is very important for you to understand how administrator loads these files into the system. Okay, so always remember when you have to load file into the system, you have to search a button or a tab called data import export. So import is what you put files into the system. Export is you will export the files from the system. Okay, like I explained in the previous classes, if you want to load the files with respect to upstream like suppliers or maybe contracts or anything related, you go to manage administration. But if you wanted to load the files which are related to the downstream, then you go into core administration. Okay, so I'm just in core administration, it doesn't matter. So I come to data import export. In the data import export, here you can see tabs like import, export, and web services. So I just click on export. On export here you see lot of tabs. Maybe I would just click on export of something addresses. Okay, I just click export. Here you will see that the file is getting exported. On the So I would just open the file which is already exported, and yeah, here you can see a different record. So these records are something which are loaded into the system by us. And if you want to do some changes, you can directly do the changes over here and insert a new record, save it and load it. Okay, so okay, I will not save it. Now what I will do is come to import. I would click the same addresses. Okay, let me click on import. So while you import, you see a lot of options to import. So um, we will discuss about each option like in detail now. So the first option is load. So you use the load option. Okay, let me read what has been written. So load option is nothing but it creates and modifies the object using the value in the import file. If an object in the import file doesn't exist in the database, the object is created. If an object in the import file is already in the database, it is modified using the values in the import file. So while you load the file, there are two things. If the value is not present in the system already, it will create the new record. And if the value is already existing and you have changed the subsequent values associated with it, it will update the record. So for that, we load it. And if you would choose a create objects, if you just wanted to create it, but if the object is all in the import file is already exist in the database, here it is not modified. We use update. So why do we use update? Update again, it is the other way around. It will only modify the existing objects only if they are present already in the database. So it is the other way around. And deactivation is nothing but if you want to delete them. Okay, just for us to understand, okay, where is the downloads? Let me go to the downloads, address, open. Okay, go to address. Again, I'm showing open. And if you come down and click on run button, you will run the import. That's it. So this is how the import and export function works. So once the import and export function, I mean, you have imported the data into the system and you want to check the status, always click on completed button and here you would see what does it say? It says, okay, today is the date and when was the last processed and what is the status and how many records are updated, how many records are deleted. You will get all the information from this window. And when you click on the history, you will get the subsequent history, what is loaded, what is not loaded, and all of that. So this is one way to use import and export function. What did I say? I said we see the data import export in Site Manager, data import export, and you see the same tab in core administration and administration as well. But there is one thing what you need to remember is whenever you load the file, there are some cases where you have to be careful in terms of the name of the file, what you load. Here, if you see location address.csv, so you can just put, and if you remember, I just loaded the file with the name address exports.csv, but it doesn't matter. But there are some cases where you have to load the zip files, you have to load the files with certain naming convention. I mean, it depends on the kind of file you're going to load. But there is another thing what you need to remember is in Ariba, not that every file you will load. There are some files which will be automatically transferred from S4. How to know that? You can just check the client type, client version, and client information. It gives you the knowledge on what are the files that are getting uploaded or updated from S4 to Ariba through integration.